Hey guys, welcome back to Slimefun with Boomer. You're probably wondering, Boomer, you're on the wrong server, right? Why are you on SkyGrid? Well, I've realized, as a couple others have kind of also told me, and they're absolutely right, in trying to do both of these series and build both bases completely and do the things that I really want to do to make the builds great, I'm out of time. I just don't have enough time. I've spent too much time on this as it is, and then trying to do two of these series in full bore, in addition to work and family life and such, there isn't enough time. So where I deem necessary, I'm going to use SkyGrid because I do already have most of everything built out to help with the tutorials here. So sometimes you will see this on the survival, sometimes you're going to see it on grid. More importantly is I wanted the series to continue to at least give you the ability to learn more about this. But I do want to caution you again that these videos are going to be very in-depth tutorials with all the cheats that I can possibly tell you. There is something to be said about doing some work yourself. Now, I know that is not a popular thing to hear in today's society. Too many people want things instantly. They want it right now. They don't want to put forth the work or the effort. That is the overwhelming way that unfortunately America has become. We don't understand the term delayed gratification. We don't understand reward after effort. And so I'm going to caution you to please not watch these videos and tutorials and cheats until you have tried and exhausted every option you can think of. You've talked to players on the servers and said, hey, can you guide me? Can you help me a little bit? Don't give me all the answers. Because here's the thing. If I would just get all the answers, right? Let's have a really one-on-one conversation. If I just give you all the answers and tell you how to do it in 5 minutes, if you've got the materials and resources, you've got it built, right? Well, about 5 seconds later, you know what happens? Is that you become bored. And you try to move on to the next one and say, I'm going to accomplish all these things. And in 2 weeks, you've mastered all of Slimefun, you've built everything, and then you go, what's next? Because you realize that, well, I've already done it all. What else is there to do? You see, Slimefun is a game within a game, just like any mod pack is. Now, mod packs, to me, are a little bit more of a pain, especially something like Sky Factory. Now, not to knock Sky Factory, I think it actually is a very good mod pack, but it does have a lot of drawbacks. For one, there's over 200 mods. I've got a pretty good PC, and it takes 8 minutes for me to load up on one and about 6 on the other. If the game crashes, the server goes down, whatever, I am not reloading and relogging in. I'm going on to something else. So that's why I appreciate Slimefun, because it's a plugin. I don't have to do anything. It takes 10 seconds to load the server resource pack when I log in. Closer to 15, but you get the idea. And you lose the enjoyment of the game, when it's handed to you. And so I want to play that game within the game. I want to learn. I want to discover. I want enough information that I can find it, but not so much that I find it right away, and not so little that it's impossible to find. And surprisingly, of the plugins I've played and dealt with in the mod pack, Slimefun, believe it or not, from a documentation standpoint, is actually, I think it's really good, because it gives you the information you need to know. You simply need to spend a little bit of time and effort in understanding how the pieces of the puzzle go together. And we're going to teach you those pieces of the puzzle, and we're going to talk about the 7 different tools you see in my hotbar. And so, Paul, there's 8. You're right. The 8th one is my personal mining pick for grid. So we're going to talk about the 7 tools. Now, the first one we're going to get into that I'm holding right now is a lumber axe. And you say, why should I use a Slimefun lumber axe? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this first. Let's pull up the lumber axe, okay? Let's look at the lumber axe here. So under tools, let's pull up lumber axe. Cuts down the whole tree at once. Well, great, right? Takes a little bit to craft 2 synthetic diamonds, a synthetic emerald, and 2 gilded iron. It's a little bit of effort there, right? Not bad, but some effort. Now, in Slimefun, you have the option, will there be nothing here? You can view it in the wiki, or you can view a video. This one clicked on a wiki, which means there may be further information you want to know about it. Now, I actually have not gone to the wiki for this item. This one, I figured out. It was pretty self-explanatory. Cuts down the whole tree. I mean, really, how much more information do you need? So, comparing this to the MCMMO plugin that we have, and if you've ever played MCMMO, I think it's a great plugin. As your skill level increases in MCMMO, you start gaining bonuses. You get the ability to cut down a whole tree at once, to get multiple drops as your levels rise from 1 to 100, or if you're doing the bigger version from 10 to 1,000. As your levels rise, so does the percentage of getting more drops out of one. So right now, my level, let's look it up, wood cutting. Whoops, oh, I need chat turned back on. All right, let's do this. As I bring up my MCMMO wood cutting level, I am at level 56. So what that means is I have a 56% chance of getting double drop. So if a tree contains 9 blocks of wood, on average 5 times, I'm going to get 1 extra block of wood, or I'm going to get 14 blocks. It also has a leaf blower effect where it takes down most of the leaves right away, and I can get bonus saplings more so than I would if I were to cut the tree down in vanilla. So MCMMO has a lot of things going for it. The one thing it has working against it is a cooldown. After the skill level runs off and wears off, it's a 5-minute recharge. So to bring this back up, right now my tree feller, this is the skill level that if you right click while holding an axe, and as soon as you start mining trees, you have 13 seconds in my case to chop down as many trees as you can to get those bonus drops. Then it's a 5-minute cooldown. As your level rises, that time increases. So from level 56, let's say I get up to level 75, that might put my tree feller up to 15 or 16 seconds. I get up to level 200, I might have a full minute. But again, it's at 5-minute cooldown. So if I need to get 2 or 3 double chests of wood because I'm making a massive, insane project, this is where MCMMO helps and hurts, because I can get almost double drops, but then I have to wait 5 minutes. With the Slimefun axe, as soon as I chop this down, now you'll see at the top, I do get MCMMO benefit from it, but the whole tree comes down. But guess what? There's no delay, there's no cooldown. I can keep going. Now forgive us, we're having a little bit of lag on the server. Right now there's a lot of people on, and everybody's doing a whole bunch of stuff. So as you'll notice that there was no notification that says, hey, we're well past that 13 seconds of MCMMO. And so far I've managed to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks plus 11 out of those 2 trees, which is probably about right. So that's the plus side, is there is no cooldown delay. The downside to it, you can see, I got to wait for the leaves to decay. And then I got to try to pick up the saplings. I don't get a bonus. So you have to kind of decide, which ones, do you want the trees right away or do you want the bonus? Now, what happens if I right click the Slimefun axe? On the screen it says, okay, oh, I missed it there. You ready your axe, which means tree feller can be started. So if I right click it and then I hit it, again, I get the axe going. It knocks it down. Now let's see, how much wood did I pick up by doing that? Remember we had 6 and 11? I have 7 and 8. In other words, unless there's more logs that fell, they're lying around somewhere, and I don't see any, I didn't get the bonus drops. And I lost the ability to use my MCMMO, and I want to pick up these saplings here. So if I ready my axe again and then I hit it, see, I've lost the MMCO skill, but I am able to chop the tree down, but I'm not getting those bonus drops. So another tree, look at this. I'm at 9 stacks and 8. So I got 1 more stack out of each tree, but I didn't get the bonus. So unfortunately, that axe is not combinable with the bonus part of MCMMO. However, I do get my levels slowly will increase when I still use it. So depending on your need, MCMMO can be better if you want more materials. If you have 150 of these double trees built and you need to chop them all down, well, Slimefun is going to get you more trees in that same 5-minute time frame, the cooldown that MCMO would have got you on the drops. So you have to decide what you want to do. Okay, so we're going to, going from the lumber axe, our next tool we're going to talk about is a Smelters Pickaxe. And let's bring up our guide here real quick just to look at the Smelters Pickaxe. So one of the nice things I love about this is it's an auto smelter, meaning iron and gold don't need to go through a furnace. Now, in the previous episode, episode 6, we did talk about furnaces, about going to electric furnaces or carbon auto furnaces, the yields or bonuses and all that you have to weigh in. When it comes to iron and gold, even with the luck bonus of the carbon auto furnace being up to 3 potential times more, I will always 100% of the time choose the Smelters Pickaxe because, as you can see on the screen, it works with Fortune. And so, I've probably already told you guys on our servers, we have Fortune X. And so I have put Fortune level 10 on my Smelters Pickaxe. And it kicks the crap out of the carbon auto furnace. The carbon auto, if I put in a stack of iron ore or gold ore, I probably get maybe 80 on average, probably about a 25% bonus. Here, I probably get a 500% bonus. So we're going to run through and show you how this works. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's 15 I laid out. A little bit more. Okay, 20. So we have 20 iron ore we're going to go through. I'm going to make sure my inventory is clear of iron and to show you what this does. Okay, you ready? Speed this up just a little bit. All right. So we're having to go back and pick up. We're actually having a, as you can see, a little bit of lag issue in the server tonight. All right. How much iron ore? We came back with 104 ingots on 20 ore. So I got 5.2 times the yield. Well, what about gold? And what about this 5.2? Is that, normal? Well, what do we got here for gold? Pretty close to the same. 12, 14, 16, 20. Okay, so I did do 20. Let's see what happens when we run through 20 gold ore. Will we get the same yield? Oh, we got a little bit sitting back here. Oh, by the way, yeah, they also drop end shards. I almost forgot about that. All right, ready? 125. I got 6.25 times the yield. So you saw 6.25 times the yield with gold ore. That was crazy. That is a little high. That's probably one of the highest yields I've actually gotten with the Smelters Pickaxe. Normally it's around 5 times to 5.5. So to me, that's just wow. I mean, this is why I use it. So when I need gold ingots, I use iron ingots. I get more from the Slimefun dust. But if you're not set up on a big factory yet, you'll still be getting the Smelters Pickaxe is the one you want. Now, let's be honest. It takes a little bit of work to craft a sucker up. When you look at 3 lava crystals, it takes a lot of work. You're talking about ancient runes, you're talking about magical lumps and blaze powder, and then you're talking about fire charges and more ancient runes. All of this, magical lump 2, again, there's a lot of work to craft this up, but it is well worth it to go through and do it once. And then 2 ferrosilicate. Craft it in a magic enhanced crafting table. I thought it was a magic workbench. All right. So the Smelters Pickaxe, again, especially in the beginning stages, once you're able to obtain one by crafting it, iron, gold ore, best things for those. You should be able to use it on any other ore as well, but it's meant for smelting. I just, if you've got Fortune 10, if you can manage to buy it on the server or you can manage to get it from the unlucky blocks, it should work on any other ore. Let me take a look. I think I have some coal ore in one of my vaults. I thought I did. Oh, you know what? I do. I have ore right here. This is my grid clearing storage area that I brought you down to. I know one of these has coal. Yeah, I know. I just saw diamond, and I could have done it on there too. Let's do 4 of these just to see. So if we hit it with the Smelters Pickaxe, 34 coal. So definitely Fortune X still works on the Smelters Pickaxe with additional ores. All right, let's move on. Hercules. Let's look up the Hercules Pickaxe. So powerful, it crushes all mined ores into dust. So if you've gone through and you've silked up 200 gold or iron ingots, and you need that dust for Slimefun for crafting, let's see what happens to it, shall we? Look what's happening. It's turning right into iron dust. And if I'm right, we're getting 2 per ore. Just like you would if you were to put it into an ore crusher. We placed on 20 iron ore, we got 40 iron dust. So if you don't want to do the ore crusher, you can use the Hercules Pickaxe to instantly turn that into the dust. Now, can you, for example, combine these 2 picks? Do a Smelter's Fortune 10 and a Hercules? No. Unfortunately, there is no way to combine these into one to save you this step. So where does a Hercules help? Again, if you've got a lot of ore and you don't want to go through the ore crusher, that's fine. You can do it with Hercules. All right. Pickaxe or vein mining. Some of you may be very familiar with vein mining. There's a number of mod packs that use it. Iskal85, someone who I've watched a lot when he's doing mod, he does a lot of vein mining. And so we built a little potential mining of the veins right here. Ever go down into a cave and see a series of iron? It looks something like this, right? And you're going along with your silk touch pick and you hit this thing, oh great, I'll get these 8, right? Or, and just to prove, how many iron ore do I have in my chest or my inventory? None. All right, I hit this thing, and I now have all 8. All I had to do was hit 1. Isn't that sweet? So if you're, the nice thing about this is if you're going through and you need to get a lot of your materials out quickly, anything that's touching it like that, it just simply picks it up and mines it for you. So in addition to the 34 coal, it picked up the 10 ore that I placed. Now, it did not give me the fortune yield. I have not put fortune on here. I did not test it. So you say, okay, this is one of those moments when you don't know something. You're absolutely right. There wouldn't be a big challenge for me to put fortune on here, 1, to see if it'll take, and 2, to see if it would work. This is not a pickaxe that I would use on grid. SkyGrid does not have a reason for vein mining because you only have 1 block at a time that touches. There's nothing touching each other. In survival, it'd be great. Survival would be a great place for this pick if you're going out deep mining, especially when you hit big lumps of coal ore. Same thing with silk. Could you put silk on here and test it so that it mines it all in silk and then come back and hit it with a Fortune X, or simply put a Fortune X on this thing? Any and all those possibilities exist. I'm not going to do it because we're not on a survival map. When I finally get Slimefun going full bore on survival, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do the silk touch and I'm going to do the fortune, and I'll test and see if they work. My guess is yes, because we've seen a lot of other tools are compatible with fortune and silk. However, since I have not tested it, I cannot answer that question intelligently, and I'm not going to. Moving on to the Cobalt Pickaxe. Why in the world would I have picked the Cobalt Pickaxe? When I first saw this, I said, wow, efficiency 6 on breaking 10. As much mining as I do, I want this to be the base pick for everything that I do on the grid, and then I'll add fortune and mending and Hellforge from CEs, or silk, mending, Hellforge, whatever I need to put on there. And then I realized, you know what? I get efficiency 5 off the bat. So when you're grid clearing, the difference between 5 and 6 really isn't significant, and actually sometimes can slow you down when you get above 5. Mojang has a bug that's existed for a number of years they have not been able to remove when you are grid clearing or you are mining straight down in survival. you tend to shift off the block. I've seen pretty much every single hermit from Hermitcraft do it. I've seen it on a Skycraft server. I've experienced it myself for years. Now, the lower your ping is on a server, the less likely it happens, but it still happens a lot, and Mojang just has not been able to correct it, and it's something to do with how the player falls in relation to when the block is actually removed, and I don't quite fully understand it. But the reason I brought this pick in is it's an efficiency 6 on breaking 10. Even if you don't have mending or hellforge for a while, it's going to be a long time before this pick wears out. So I simply put it because it's a great pick. It's a great base pick to start with, better than any ranked pick on the server to start with. Even better to Celestial, we only get efficiency 5 to start. So moving on to pick number 6, the Pickaxe of the Seeker. Pickaxe of the Seeker, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out some iron ore. Oh, I already had some. No, not the dust. Let's try this again. Okay, the lag is even messing with my ability to grab items. Serious? Okay, enough. And the gold ore. All right. Let's do this. Let's just place down a couple iron, a couple gold. We'll put 2 over there. Pickaxe of the Seeker. So when you right click this pick, we're having some problem with the lag of the server. It's supposed to point you where the closest ore is. So I'm not quite sure why. And maybe it's doing it because there's more, but it's pointing me in the direction of this. So where does this come in use? Guess what? This one's pretty obvious, right? Useless in grid. For the most part, it's very useless in grid because there's 7 different ores. What if I only want, let's say, diamond ore? Well, it can't pick out just diamond ore. But what it can do in survival is move me in where is the ore. It'll help me find the ores much faster. So I get down into my mine and I right click this thing and it's going to point me in the direction I need to go to find the ore. Then I can switch to the appropriate pick. So you'll find stuff a whole lot faster versus just strip mining 400 blocks and hitting 350 of nothing. And you'll find them all in a relatively short area, so you'll be able to clean out entire areas. All right? And here's the nice thing after that. Once you've mined out, there's another pick. The Explosive Pickaxe. Now, this is not like TNT duping, and I hate that kind of stuff. I wish that stuff didn't exist. I really don't appreciate and don't like hacking, and I know it's not hacking, but to me it is. It's exploiting the game with the intent of something that does not exist in the game other than just to exploit it. I don't appreciate those. I don't think they're worth it. I think Mojang needs to put a lot more effort into removing those types of exploits. They were never designed to be a part of the game. And I hate when, and I hate to use that, it's a strong term, but I really do. I really don't like the fact that very popular guys who do a great job otherwise choose to point out exploits in the game and don't use the vanilla mechanics that are there. And then those exploits, as soon as they're found, Mojang sees that and works to get rid of them, and I'm glad they do. Duping, in my mind, if you have to resort to duping, you shouldn't be playing the game. Enough said about that. So here's what I love about the Explosive Pick. We've got a roughly 5x5 here. I hit the center thing. This thing will clear out, if I were to hit the dead center, potentially up to 3x3x3. So in other words, it removes a Rubik's Cube, or has the potential to remove a Rubik's Cube worth of stone. So you need to clear out a big underground area really quick. After you've gone through the Pickaxe of the Vein Miner, and you've picked it up with your silk, your forks, and your auto smelt tools, whichever one you want to finish clearing out that area, say to find a slime chunk, you come through with this baby, and you just start running and running and running and running, and you just blast all that out of there, and you can clear an insane amount of area in a short period of time, and guess what? You still get all the stone back. That's beautiful. So those are the 7 picks that we're going to feature in this episode. Again, the picks themselves are not combinable. The skills cannot be pulled off of one and put onto another. Some of them could silk and fortune be applied, yes. I chose not to go through and do all that because I know on some of them it can be already. I didn't see that as a big need. And so with that, guys, those are the basic tools from a pickaxe perspective. There are other tools, the other swords and the other tools and armor that we'll talk about at later episodes. Today we're simply looking at these 6 pickaxes and the 1 axe that I felt were important enough to feature within Slimefun at this time. The only other one I didn't talk about was the Soulbound one. The Soulbound one is exactly as it sounds. It is bound to you. The nice feature about Soulbound is that if you die, that stays in your inventory no matter what. So you can Soulbound, let's take a look which items you can Soulbind. A pickaxe, an axe, a shovel, a hoe. Isn't that nice? I don't believe there is a Soulbound sword. Let's just take a quick look. I may be wrong. Oh, there's a Soulbound sword as well. Okay. So crafting the Soulbound of anything to create the essence of afterlife is a lot of work. If you spend any time in here, this is why I didn't do this. It was so much work. I didn't have half the resources available, and I said, I'm not going to do it for now. I think you understand the concept of keep inventory. This is the same thing as having keep inventory on for those tools that have the Soulbound. Once they're Soulbound, then you can go through and add whatever enchants you want. So in other words, you put together an awesome pick. This is my grid clearer. I can make that a Soulbound pick and then build that around that. Every time I die, I keep that in my inventory forever. So there's ways around keep inventory. So like I mentioned early on in this series and in the other series, I don't care. When I get somebody comes on and says the server's pay to win, I'm sorry, Frank out is a bunch of bull. We've proven in Slimefun that playing field's been leveled. You can get keep inventory for all of your tools, for sure. We've already proven that for some of your gear. And let's take a look. Is there that possibility of Soulbound armor? That would be the other thing, because then if that's the case, I really don't ever want to hear anybody whining. I haven't tried it, so I don't see it in there. That's slime leggings. Soulbound. Hey, guess what? You can Soulbound all your armor. So armor, tool, weapons. No more excuses. Keep inventory. Doesn't matter. You're good to go. And so with that, guys, we're going to wrap up. I apologize if I got a little talky, a little long. There are some things I'm just very passionate about. And one thing I just can't stand is exploits. Or people who aren't willing to put in any kind of effort. Maybe I'm old school, you know, but that's just the way I am. I think you want something, you earn it. You go out and you earn it. And so with that, guys, we're going to wrap up. We're going to say thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and make sure you turn notifications on so that the next time I put on another video, you're ready and you get that notification. But as we say in Grid and even on Survival, you got to go Boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.